August 16th, 2019, and as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. Hey, everybody, I'm back. I'm doing a CarCast today with my laptop, and hey, everybody, recording a video for this as well. So we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, I am here in Michigan, and I am headed today about 12:30 to go with Mom to talk to hospice about getting my dad in there. Don't know what to expect with that, but I guess it'll be what it'll be. Yeah, so I've done, a little bit of research on it, and well, I don't know. You guys don't want to hear about that. So I've been to see Dad a couple times. I've been up here for a few days. And it's weird. I think being here has actually made me even less removed, feel more removed from the situation. I don't know. Um, I don't know what the real cause of that is. I went to see him on Wednesday, and it was a pretty good visit. And I think I felt relieved, like he wasn't maybe as bad as I thought maybe he was. Then yesterday I went to see him, and he was really kind of super delusional out there. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. So that's gonna be all I'm gonna talk about for my dad this episode. So let's get on with the real show, huh? Okay. So I'm living in North Carolina. I realized a few months ago that the license plates can have 8 characters. And I've never really thought of myself as a vanity plate kind of guy, but I went and did it. I got Jamolki as license plate, which is pretty cool. Jamoalki. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that. I guess we don't call them vanity plates anymore, but that's what it is, right? It's vanity. Um, but yeah, so if you're in North Carolina and you see me tooling around with Jamolki, stop me, flag me down, say hey. Uh, that would be kind of cool. Um, so, so a new podcast that I've started listening to called the Peculiar Picture Show, run by Brandon and Maria, and it's an interesting podcast. They talk about movies. And kind of how they relate to mental health, mental illness, things like that. It's pretty interesting. They don't just drone on and on about like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and how bad that was for the image of mental illness. They'll talk about a movie, what they like, what they didn't like, and then they'll always weave in kind of the mental health aspect to it. Check them out, Peculiar Picture Show. I think they're at peculiarpicture.show, I think is their website. But you can just Google it and check them out. Tell them I sent you. I'm trying to get Brandon to come on the show here, and if I can come up with a movie that I'd like to talk about as it relates to mental illness, I can. I have a reserved spot on their show. So So let me put that out to you guys. What do you think? What what movies have you seen that and they don't have to overtly talk about mental illness? I've got an idea of a couple that I might want to talk about, but I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, not just for the podcast, but for my own general kind of entertainment purposes. That would be fabulous. Um, Yeah, so I keep looking at notes here on my phone, so I'm trying to be a little more responsible for you guys this time. Couple of stories, articles that I've read recently. One was from a UK study, and I just saw this this morning, and excuse me, a little frog in my throat. 50%, the study showed that about 50% of patients won't tell their general practitioner that they've thought about suicide or that they have depression or they think they have depression. And a big reason for that is they don't want to feel judged. There's quite a bit, this was more encompassing than just those two factors that got into, sexual abuse and things like that as well. But for the purposes, obviously, for me, it's the suicide and depression. And I think I was trying to think about this, and early on, obviously before I was diagnosed, I wouldn't even have thought about talking about depression because I didn't really think that, I just thought the way I thought was the way people thought. And while everybody has thoughts about dying and killing themselves at some point, right? I mean, that just seems normal. So I wouldn't have brought it up. And, if we're talking 10 years ago and beyond, there wasn't really a lot of focus on that at general practitioners, family doctors, things like that. I've seen that it's changed quite a bit. And even like my dentist, I think when I got my new dentist, they asked about mental health. And I gladly told them that I'm dealing with depression. I thought that was good, pertinent information for them because of the self-care aspect of oral care. And, I just thought they should know that, hey, yeah, I do struggle with brushing my teeth, once a day, certainly not twice a day like I should. So, yeah, I mean, now I'm willing to talk to anybody about it. It was interesting reading through this article and comments on it. And I forget the Twitter post that led me to it, but the comments on that. Being in the UK, where this study was, or this article was published, I guess the healthcare system is quite different, and you can hear a little bit about it if you listen to my last episode with Claire. We talked about that a little bit. But there were people commenting like they've been yelled at by their doctor, like, hey, this isn't the place for that, or hey, stop that, you're just wasting our time, which is horrible, awful. But, I think, so anyway, years ago I wouldn't have, because it just wasn't on my radar. And then even after I was diagnosed, I don't think I told my family physician for a little while because I still was just kind of wandering around, not really understanding what that meant. But now I'm all about it, and generally they ask me PHQ-9 questions, if not give me the PHQ-9 assessment. And hopefully you all know what that is. But it's a mental health assessment, nine questions maybe, just on where you are as far as depression. And I've no problem. I'm always more than eager to do that. So I think maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't know what you all think. I would love to hear from you about what you've talked to your family physician, general practitioner, or whatever it is they call it in your neck of the woods. And just, why you've spoken up, why you haven't spoken up. Let me know. I'm interested to know all these things. Thanks. So I was, I told you all before that I was on my friend Jody's podcast, Mental Health Raw and Open. And you can Google that. And so she published the episode that I talked with her on. And I encourage you all to go check it out. Again, it's Mental Health Raw and Open with Jody. I think you can Google it and find her. I'd say I'd put it in the show notes, but I'm really bad about that. And I'm putting out a call again for someone who, or anybody who might be willing to throw a little help my way. I realized as Jody linked to my podcast page, on the website, jamolke.info, that I haven't updated that with podcasts in a long while. And if someone went to there, they would think, well, this dude hasn't put a podcast out in years. And I want to fix that. So yeah, if you got some free time and you're willing to help out, I'm willing to. I can pay you in karma. But yeah. Anyway, check that out. It was a good conversation that we had together. Yeah. What else is going on? Another article, Wall Street Journal article that my mother-in-law posted on Facebook and asked what people thought of it. And it was a story about healthy eating as it relates to depression. And reading through the article, it almost seemed like, in fact, I think they said like, eating healthy. Like, I think they used the Mediterranean diet as an example. So lots of fruits and vegetables and um, seafood and things like that. And they were saying that in many cases, like, this will cure you of your depression. Like, obviously your brain needs nutrition and the proper nutrition, and feed your body right and your brain will be right. And I was really kind of disappointed that the Wall Street Journal put an article out like this. My response to it on her post was that, like most complicated issues, the solution is itself complicated and kind of nuanced. And, it's probably, a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 400 different factors that can affect you if you've got depression. I mean, it's just to say eat right and you'll feel better is kind of woo, right? It's not. I know people I've met through the podcast here, through the online community, who are vegetarians, are pescatarians. Is that right? I think that's right. They eat fish. Um, and they're still just as depressed as I ever was, as I am now. Um, and with exercise, some people say exercise is the way to go. That just get your butt out of bed, and you'll start to feel better. And again, that's another factor that could help. But I know ultra marathoners who are just as depressed as anyone else. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that that they put this article out there. I like the idea. I mean, encouraging people to eat healthy is always a good idea. Encourage people to exercise is always a good idea. They go to therapy, to take their medication. Um, but there's not like one source of depression, right? And I likened it, and maybe it was a little too glib, but to like cancer, right? I mean, there's not one type of cancer. There's not one type of depression. So there's not a cure for cancer, right? There's not a cure for depression. Blanket kind of the cure. Do this, take this, do that. Yeah, it was really kind of frustrating for me to read that. So let me know what you think about that. How do you guys all eat? I know I don't eat as well as I ought to, but my diet has not gotten any better in the time when I've started to feel better. So, maybe, I don't know. It just seems like a bunch of hooey. Everything in moderation, and we all should eat better for our physical health. And maybe it has some effect on our mental health. Obviously, if we feel better physically, we may tend to feel a little bit better emotionally. But just to say that, eat dates and oranges and shrimp, and that's just the way you'll be fine. Seems really irresponsible to put that out. I don't know. What else? I got a really nice email from a listener named Matt. And I'll be honest, Matt, I'm sorry. I went back and I looked at our emails, and it sprung to memory. But when you first emailed me, I was like, oh, hey, okay, Matt. Um, Kind of slipped my mind, and I apologize for that. But he sent me a really nice email about his experience with his mom, who was terminally ill with cancer. And it was just so sweet of him to send it out and try to give me support and encouragement. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I appreciate that. Um, like I said on the last solo episode, maybe, that I wanted to start shouting out to you guys. And yeah, so Matt, thank you so much. That was really nice. I'm sorry you went through what you went through. But thanks, man. And yeah, maybe we can get you on the show and have a chit chat. That would be awesome. Um, in other news, geez, I don't know. The show is officially on iHeartRadio, which is kind of cool. I don't know what that means as far as getting the show out there, but it's another platform. If you're an iHeartMedia fan, iHeartRadio fan, and you prefer to listen to podcasts that way or whatever, you can find me there now. So check it out. Um, I think that's another subscription base. So if you do that, if you use iTunes, if you use Google Play, subscribe to the show. That way you're first in line when the new episode comes out. Woohoo! Um, yeah. So, um, yeah. I mean, I had bigger ideas on what I wanted to talk about, and I've got. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm yammering already, and it's only been 17 minutes, and yeah. So listen, reach out to me, jamulki@gmail.com, facebook.com/jamulki, @jamulki on Twitter, or www.jamulki.info. That's JAMOALKI. And let me know how you're doing. Oh, text me 248-648-1419. Yeah, yeah, his text line has been a little slow lately. I think that's mostly on me, and I just don't feel like I have, when I want to send out texts, I want to be available for the next half hour, and I just don't feel like I have that right now. Um, so yeah, but send me a line. Let me know how you're doing. That'd be cool. Um, yeah, I'd love to hear from you. And yammer, yammer, yammer. I guess I'm gonna go. Everybody be safe and be well. Thanks for listening.